Alright, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network. Alright, y'all see what's going on here? As y'all see the thumbnail, y'all read the title under the thumbnail. Yeah, man, this one today is dealing with your boy, Mr. TSF. Y'all already know who I'm talking about. Houston's very own, Sauce Walka. This video is based on Sauce Walka pulls up to TakeOff Funeral to pay respects to Quavo and Offset based on TakeOff being set up in his hometown, you understand? Now at the same time, Sauce Walka also informed Quavo about the history of J.Prince Jr. and his MobTies affiliates, you understand? Now who else better to speak on this rather than somebody that actually comes from Houston, you understand? Because this the thing, right? There's a lot of people outside of Houston who are really not familiar with how the MobTies move. So that's the reason why Sauce Walka, he had to let Quavo know, hey man, I tried to inform you guys before to watch your back around these dudes. You feel me? That it's only a small amount of people in Houston that even acknowledge these guys or even have love for these dudes. And those people, they either work for or affiliated to J Prince and his sons. You feel me? Now this is the thing, right? I know at this point in time, I got a lot of people in my comments talking about, hey man, J Prince Jr. is really not J Prince's son. Hey man, that's what I'm not speaking on at this point. What I'm speaking on, man, is the fact that you got two guys, two highly very successful young black men who was set up in H-Town, man, pertaining to a dice game. That's what I'm talking about. And also them being set up under the watch of J Prince Jr. and his MobTies affiliates. All that, like, that's personal family business that I don't care to speak on. If J Prince Jr. is J Prince's son, come on, man. That's far from the fact that TakeOff and Duke the Jeweler got set up being around these guys. You feel me? And again, that's what Sauce Walka speaks on, man. Sauce Walka, again, he's from H-Town. He told Quavo before, the times that Quavo would pop up in Houston with J.Prince, he would let him know, like, hey man, if you need any assistance, I got your back. But at the same time, watch yourself. At that point in time, Quavo didn't know what Sauce Walka was talking about. Now it's starting to make sense, you understand? Because like I told you guys before, and like Sauce Walka even acknowledged himself that it's a bunch of guys over there in that camp that I know. You know what I'm saying? I know that's from Houston. A bunch of those guys that I know, because either I grew up with them, went to school with them, was in the streets with them, you feel me? And those dudes over there, they really don't respect Jazz or J Prince Jr., man. I'm trying to tell y'all. Again, this is coming from Sauce Walka. That's why Sauce Walka even told Quavo, hey man, y'all would have been better off in H-Town around me and my guys. We got way more respect out here in Houston than y'all think J Prince and his MobTies do. Before we get into it, let's pay our respects and say rest in peace to Duke the Jeweler. Condolences to his family and much love to all my folks in Chicago. Same thing goes for Atlanta's TakeOff. Rest in peace to TakeOff. Condolences to his family and much love to all my folks in the ATL. Quavo, Offset, the rest of the family. Lingo, y'all keep y'all head up out there, man. I know it's gonna be hard right now. Trust me, a lot of people got y'all back more than what y'all think, you understand? But yeah, let's get back to the story. So at the same time, man, while all this is happening, a lot of people is looking at J Prince and his MobTies affiliates a little differently now. And at the same time, that's the reason why it's a lot of people confused that J Prince would even ask Quavo to pay for TakeOff Funeral. When we all know, yeah, they got their own money, man. They got their own thing going over there with the Migos camp. And right now, in this point in time, they don't want nothing to do with J Prince or his sons, man. And that's real talk. Because again, a lot of people are not just reacting based on TakeOff. A lot of people are still reacting based on what happened to Duke the Jeweler and H-Town after a dice game, man. What's happening in Houston after these dice games, a lot of people is not respecting it because it's coming from the J Prince MobTies affiliates camp, man. So a lot of people is questioning, hey, that's the reason why you offered to pay for TakeOff Funeral, because you're trying to save face, because you know there's a lot of people looking your way pertaining to what happened to Duke and what happened to TakeOff, because you knew Lil Cam Fifth had something to do with this. You knew Lil Cam Fifth was the shooter, man. That's the reason why you made a whole public apology on social media pertaining to what happened to TakeOff and saying that, hey man, whoever got something to do with this, don't come running behind me. Guess what? They already did. That's why he said that, man. Lil Cam Fifth already come running behind him to see what's the next move.
And that's the reason why the next day, the storyline went, Lil Cam Fifth, he got set up as well, when that was far from the truth. Nothing happened to Lil Cam Fifth, man. They was hiding this little dude. I told y'all, even Boosie had to come out and tell J.Prince Jr, hey man, go get Lil Cam Fifth, tell him turn himself in, not just dealing with TakeOff, but also what happened to Duke the Jeweler and H-Town, man. Because again, a lot of people could erase my name based on what happened to Duke, and this is what Boosie is saying. So at the same time, the reason why I'm letting you guys know that J Prince, he been knew that Lil Cam Fifth hands was tied in this whole situation. The reason why he ain't put it out there, because this was gonna come back to him and his sons. Because a lot of people would start looking at him differently based on the things that Sauce Walka said and Charleston White said about the MobTies affiliates. Them dudes ain't all who y'all think they are. And we got the truth to prove it, man. That's the reason why all these little storylines keep coming out. But at the same time, Charleston White and Sauce Walka know, hey, when it comes to MobTies, J Prince, he like to put out his own narratives because he want the people to feel like he really got everything in control. He really got everything organized over there, when that's far from the truth, you feel me? Because again, when you got something happening to a jeweler, a black jeweler out of Chicago, come on, bro, what's going down over there, man? And then TakeOff, who's not knowing to do anything bogus to nobody, and this happened to TakeOff? Come on, man. J Prince and your sons, y'all got a lot of questions that need to be answered, and that's real talk, man. Not only coming from Duke the GDs in Chicago, but also dealing with TakeOff and his family. And then you got Offset. Come on, man. A lot of people still don't know that Offset, he with the guys, man. Offset been GD.
Again, I told you guys before, only a small amount of people in H-Town know of and respect the MobTies, man. A lot of their fan base or a lot of the guys that look up to them, it's only because the people they have signed to rap a lot, like a Drake, Finesse 2 times. You know what I'm saying? Even in the past, we can go to Ghetto Boys and UGK, all that, right? But J Prince, he uses their image to make it seem like this is a whole MobTie movement that's going on here. When everybody in Texas don't feel that way. I told you guys before, Charleston White even spoke on the same thing, and he's from Fort Worth. He said, man, it's guys over here in Fort Worth, Dallas, they don't know of or respect J Prince and the MobTies like the rest of you guys do on the outside of Texas. You understand? Again, who's better to tell this information other than Charleston White or Sauce Walka? Right now, we can alleviate what Charleston White said about J Prince and only include what Sauce Walka said because he's from Houston right along with those guys. So again, he been there from the beginning ever since J.Prince Jr. and Jazz started making moves in the rap industry. Sauce Walka is also even familiar with what happened to Duke the Jeweler out there in H-Town at a dice game, man. So again, Sauce Walka is not just talking about the incident that happened with TakeOff. He also brought up the point of view of what happened to Duke the Jeweler. So Sauce Walka is coming from the point of view that most of us is speaking on anyway, man. And again, that's how can this happen to these guys? If J Prince say him and his MobTies guys got organization over there, you know what I'm saying? They don't let nobody over there move reckless. But again, what we seeing is the total opposite, especially if you speaking on what happened to Duke and TakeOff. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people are starting to believe a lot of what Charleston White was speaking when he said something about J Prince. And the same thing goes for Wack 100. Even though Wack 100 is from California, he still knew of J Prince and his MobTies. And even Wack 100 said, hey man, those dudes not who y'all paint them out to be. Because if that was the case, the times that J Prince came out to Cali, he wouldn't have got robbed. And he wouldn't have been calling me for aid and assistance on the times that he got robbed. You feel me? Same thing goes for his sons. J Prince's sons was robbed in LA as well. And who do you think they hit up? Hey, Wack 100 said they called him to see if he could send some of his guys out again to aid and assist them, man. And again, Wack 100 put all this out there a long time ago based on when him and J Prince was having a back and forth about the Larry Hoover situation. And Wack 100 was trying to tell us, hey man, this dude is not telling the truth about the whole Larry Hoover situation. If that was the case, he wouldn't be around here claiming MobTies because he know what Larry Hoover is facing, some mob conspiracy charges. You feel me? So again, at the same time, that's the reason why you have a lot of people questioning the moves and the tactics and the motives of J Prince and his MobTies affiliates, man. Sauce Walka says he know a bunch of those guys that's affiliated to the MobTies because he grew up with them. They don't even respect J. Prince or his sons, man. And that's real. Hey, but we got more in store. But as always, y'all know what it is. Y'all know what it's worth. Let's get this merch. Subscribe to the PDH Network.